Okay. We're back. Let's see if this helps. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's see if this helps. Hopefully it does. I unchecked the enhanced stream thing. So we'll see. Hopefully. Okay. Touch wood. All right. Sorry about that. Let's see if this fixes it. The couple has had the chance to be first, but doesn't take it. Hello, Meep. Couple is that guy who would choose to lose a board game to make sure everyone's having a swell time. Not me. I'm gonna freaking beat your ass. Like, there is no way in hell I would let anyone win. If I don't win, no one's winning. And that's that. I don't believe for 1 second Patty is Gosu at board games. What? Stream is better? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, so I think what happened is I had this setting where it's like enhanced broadcasting to Twitch, basically to allow you to like it would try like at different things, and I unchecked that and I did the dynamic bitrate to adjust. So maybe those servers are borked for whatever reason. Okay. So looks like I don't have the FR4. It looks like they gave me the aluminum and the PC plate. So looking at the aluminum, you do see flex cuts on the mounting points, right? There are other points around here. I'm guessing this is maybe for maybe to basically, like if you don't use foam, right? what is it, anchor tabs. But yeah, so they do have those standoffs. That's what they're called, standoffs, right? But you do see like the relief cuts, right, on the mounting points. No major flex cuts, none at all. At least not on this one. The PC plate, you do have a few here and there, but I mean, it's nothing like crazy, right? Pretty similar other than these like cuts. So these have the standoffs, but then these don't. So I guess we'll look at the PCB and see, but you do have different plate options for the HE. It probably is for the HE, you're right. But that is there. Looks like you have FR4, anodized alu black, PC, PE, PEI, and carbon fiber. So a total of 5 traces. Neat. Okay, and then looking at the PCB. So here, right, you do have the caps lock indicator, no cuts on the PCB. This is a very thick one. Here you can see the little tiny mounting points right here. Kind of look like little, like pincers, right? No per key. It does not have RGB either. It does have a physical reset button, right? Or a physical button. It looks like it does use the magnetic connector. Yeah. So I do have a hot swap one. Looks like for PCB, you can either get wired hot swap, wired solder, dual mode hot swap, and wired HE. So a total of 4 different options. The HE one only supports WinKey though. That's very important. So if you're gonna buy Tofu60 and you're like, sick, I'm gonna do magnetic, and then you get the HHKB, unfortunately it's not compatible. You have to get the WinKey version. And then here is the foam, but it looks like we're actually gonna open this up and look inside because there's something new that I don't see very often. Looks like you do have this cover, and then yeah, just this standard foam. Cool. So let's do, I'm gonna add the foams. So we can do a total of 4 sound tests, I think. Or wait, each mounting has 2. Maybe 6. We'll try the PC will do both, but there is top mount and the PCB gasket mount. Looking at like the accessories. Let's see. Right here. So here you have the weird spoingy pogo pin connector, the one that has like the springy pigtail is what it reminds me of. Kind of matches like my desk mat. So here, this is what I'm talking about. So this is where the batteries would go in if you had them, but then this would be right here. And then you would just put the battery cover here. And then this is where the connector would then pop out of. Nice. Okay, so these are like the pellets. These are also pellets. Plate pellets, silicone pellets, okay? These are the feet. Oh, so some of these are actually for the force brake. Yeah, it's really nice, right? Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so the force brake pads go on these 4 corners, it says. Yeah, so they go on the corner of the case. Let me find them. for Teflon. Okay. Hello, Yegs. What's up? Yegs, you always say that. How do we know you're not a keyboard? It's interesting because they added these plate silicone pellets. Because you can literally see me right here. Oh, this also has plate lists. Okay, you guys. Do you want to do 2 plates no foam or 1 plate foam without foam? Pick one. Okay. Do you guys want PC or aluminum? Okay, so they have these like Teflon. And it's supposed to go around the screw hole like here. Neat. I did both mounting styles. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Wait, they're 3 and 3! Okay, yeah, vote. Vote on the plate. Hello, are you a keyboard assembler? Yes. Keyboard builder? Yeah. Well, you can vote in the poll. Keyboardist, yes. Hello, bookcase. I'm gonna use a different tweezer. Yeah, today we're building the Tofu60 3.0. We're reviewing it. Or showcasing it. However you want to call it. We're putting these little soft Teflon pads for the screw points. They're meant to be force brake mod. Basically, when metal to metal contact and there's like vibrations or resonance, sometimes you get this like pinging sound. So what you can do is you can do force brake, which effectively, I don't say like absorbs it, but basically it prevents from hearing like that metal and metal like contact, right? Oh my gosh, the plates are tied. You guys. Why do you guys do that? Why? Why do you guys? I didn't do it. How could I have made that poll? Oh my gosh. So it looks like they only suggest putting it on the top. Okay, so that's been done. Well, I guess we have time because I need to do the stabilizers. But I have installed these, so now we will do the stabilizers. Let's see. Okay. So I need 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're splitting the backspace. I have to. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab stabilizers real quick. Oh, PC one? Okay. Who spent 29K? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Good for you, Oxy. You go, girl. I think that's what... Is that what Mount wanted too? Yes, okay. The girlies won today. You know, Connor got so offended because I've been making him milk tea, but I've been adding like foam in it and he really likes it. He's like, man, why don't I get foam more often? And he just really likes it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're foam girly. And I think that like set in and he was like, I'm not a foam girly. He's like, I'm not one of those people. I'm like, you actually are. Yeah. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, you are. You're the type of people they cater to and you can get cheese foam tops. And he was like, no, I'm not. He's like, those are blasphemous. I'm like, you are. I was like, there's nothing wrong with liking foam. It's fine. I was like, it's definitely not traditional, but it's fine. He's just like, no, no, I'm not. I'm not one of those. I'm like, you are. He also got mad because he doesn't like coffee, but I imagine if he did, he would, because he loves condensed milk. So, um, what was I gonna say? He is the type of person where if we go to a store and he'll ask him like, what milk do you use for the milk tea? And if they don't say real milk, he's like, I'm good, thanks. It's like, what the hell? There's nothing wrong with non-dairy creamer. He he basically got mad at me because um, I introduced him to coconut water, like the fresh ones, like the one that's not shelf stable, like you have to have it refrigerated. And like I always buy them from Costco. Like I love them, so I just buy them from Costco. And one day, um, one day we had like a sandwich that was like really, really salty. And he was like, no matter how much water I drink, I still feel dehydrated. And I'm like, okay, drink some coconut water. He's like, ugh, I don't like coconut water. I'm like, I'm serious. Go drink coconut water. Like, it will help you. So he drank it, and then he was like, this is good. And he was like, how come you didn't tell me this was good? I'm like, what do you mean? I've literally been drinking this for years. He's like, you've been drinking this? I'm like, yeah, I always get it. I always offer. You always say no. He's like, this is really good. So he was saying that the reason why he never wanted to try it was because he would have like the coconut water that was like artificially sweetened instead of just like, you know, it's the Kirkland one from Costco. He's also drank the ones where like they add a lot of preservatives in it so it is shelf stable. Um, but I only get the ones that like it has to be fridged, right? You can't just put it on the shelf. So he's always had those, right? And so now when I go to Costco, he's like, hey, don't forget to buy the coconut water. And plus he thought it was one of those weird, because I drink a lot of weird health things, right? And he saw that it was pink, so he's just like, this must be one of your like your weird health fads or whatever. I've tried like sea buckthorn. I've tried the sea moss gel. Um, but you know, it's always some weird funky color. So he was just like, you know, it's yeah. He just assumed it was one of my scary things, right? But yeah, I buy the Kirkland ones from Costco. It comes like a 6 pack. But I'm kind of scared now because like I would get them and then I would slowly drink it because you know, like I get to enjoy it. But now his fat ass is just going to drink 1 pop a day. And now I'm gonna go to the fridge like, where the hell is my coconut water? He is open-minded, except um it's just some things that he already has been exposed to and he knows he doesn't like, he's afraid to like try it again. And I think that limits him in that regard. Because, he's had like gross coconut water before, and from there on, he's like, I hate all coconut water. And I'm like, it's not all the same, right? And now he knows. And it's funny because I got home, he went downstairs, I go back upstairs, and I see a coconut water on his desk already. I'm like, damn. Oh my god. He already found it. He knew I went to Costco. I'm really excited when we go to Taiwan because I'm gonna drink so much bubble tea. Oh, I have to tell you guys, I went to Costco and I saw this guy basically talk to his wife like so poorly. I was like genuinely shocked he was like talking to her like that in public. Because we were lining up like to pay, and like she was pushing the cart while like trying to take care of their little kid. He was just kind of like off standing on the side, and so she was like pushing the cart and like not paying attention because like the kid, like she was holding the kid who was like squirming, and then he just goes, stop it, at his wife. He's like, stop right there, because she was like about to push the cart, a little too close. And then he said something. No, he was Indian, and he said something in a language, but basically like you could tell she was just like, she was just like, and I felt so bad for her. And it's like one thing if you like berate your wife like in private, but I think it's like it's a very serious sign if it's done in public, right? So I was thinking, I was like, holy shit, you know? Like, yeah, exactly. Cause Cause why is she pushing the cart while handling your kid while your dumbass is just standing on the side and you're here trying to micromanage her and yelling at her in public? Well, you're not doing anything other than like standing right there, like, stop it! Like yelling at her. It's like, why don't you take the kid? Why don't you take the cart? Like, what the hell? I definitely was like, this guy's a piece of shit, I was getting mad. I also feel really bad for like women who have kids and they're just like carrying the kid, carrying their purse, carrying all the shit, and the husband's just like la di da di da. It's like, why wouldn't you be like, oh wife, let me help you? You know? It makes me mad when I see like, I don't know, like help your wife. Like, damn, do you not love her or what's going on? Like she's struggling, help her. Yeah, he's just like standing in line, not watching the kid, not pushing the cart. She's like doing it all. I just got mad. I'm mad thinking about it right now. Hello! Thank you for the 29. Yeah. I mean, I have seen some people be like, well, if she wanted help, she should just ask. And I was like, it's being considerate. Why does she have to ask? You see her struggling, help her. What the like, why does she need to ask? I know, because he yelled so loud that like everyone looked. Of course everyone's like, and you could see she's just like so humiliated, took her kid and just kind of like walked, was I guess she said something like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and like took the kid and just like walked away. I felt so bad for her. Like, what the hell? And I looked at him and I was like, this bitch ass, like, I got so mad. Hello, Kim. Okay, look, for me, unless I'm pissed off at you, I will actually yell at, like, Connor, like, what, you're not gonna help me take in the groceries? What, you didn't get me water? You know, it's like, I don't know if anyone else is like that. Well, Connor's a bad example because Connor has been like thoroughly trained by us, right? But like Fruit, for example, is Fruit here. But basically, Fruit would do this thing where like he would get water for himself only and then sit down. And then Lauren and I would be like, you didn't get water for the whole table? He'd be like, I only have one hand. I'm like, yeah, I made multiple trips. Like, you only got it for yourself? um, but yeah, I'd say unless I was like, because when I'm mad at someone, if they're like, let me help you, I'm like, no, do not help me. Right? But that's like me being problematic. But if I'm like carrying all this stuff and I like, if, for example, Connor is just like walking, I'd be like, Connor, help me. I for sure would say something. Unless I was mad, then I'll do it myself. Yeah, we really grilled it into Fruit. But I think part of that is just being considerate. And a lot of people are not considerate, right? But I think what it is that consideration is something that has always, well, in the sense of like, like, say one person is so used to someone else getting it for them, right? Oh yeah, and then his wife goes international, right? She flies away. That guy. Or is that a different guy? Oh wait, we're thinking about we're thinking about another one. Sorry, I was thinking about this reel I saw where this guy's like, I'm gonna take out the trash. And then his wife's like, okay, well, once you come back, can you change my kid's diaper? And then he like takes out the trash and he does like everything. And then he finally comes back home. And she was just like, I already changed his diaper. And she's like, okay, you hold the baby and I'm gonna take out the trash now. And then she like flies away. I was thinking of something else. I don't know who that guy is. Hello, Scooty. So I think um my mom has always told me not to date like a mama's boy because they are so used to having like people doing things for them that essentially usually they'll look for a woman to basically replace their mom in that sense. Well, she's saying like for like in her experience, right? So for example, like say one person is so used to like their parents always like getting them the water, getting them the silverware. When all of a sudden when no one else is doing it for them, they're just kind of like, "Oh shit. I got to get it for myself now." Right? And then they don't learn that, to get it for other people because they're so used to it being given to them, right? And it isn't really until, like you would think, oh, it should be self-learned, right? Like it should be, if you see someone being considerate, then maybe you would learn to be considerate. It's not always quite like that. And also it's one of those things where like you might not see and you might like take for granted. And the sense of like you don't know how much effort goes into something until like you do it yourself and then you're like, oh damn, right. So it's kind of the same thing, right? Just being considerate and not knowing like how much like a parent or sibling does for you until it's no longer being done, right? Oh, YouTube comment, I'm sorry. Mechanical? Yeah, it's a mechanical keyboard. One saying their son is a serious at teaching them how to serve others, how good it can feel. Yeah. And that's why like my mom would always tell me, don't like mama's boys can either be the worst or the best. The worst because they've been spoiled by their mom and they're looking for someone to continue to spoil them, or they love their mom so much they will spoil you, right? Because that's the kind of love they learned from their mom. Is Connor's a mama boy? No, I feel really bad because like his mom will like text him and then she'll say, love you. And then like text him this whole paragraph and he'll just say, you too. Like that's it. That's it. He just hits her with the you too. I'm like, you're not gonna respond to anything. I'm like, you're gonna say anything else. But however, let me see. But our text messages are it's like always food related. Yeah. I'm not a rock. But Connor is like very considerate. I think it's because like I mean we're doing the same thing to fruit now too. But it's also it's also strange because like we have one friend who's like super considerate to the point where it's like weird. you know? I think Lauren has like told him to like stop doing that. Cause like he's the type of guy who like open like doors, including car doors, and like will like get everything and will just like go the extra mile. And I remember Lauren was like, ew, don't do that. And she's like, sorry, like it's just habit, right? Yeah, but fruit is the kind of person where we're all like, hey, we're all gonna do family style. And he's like, no, I want to get my own thing. And we look at him, we're like, okay, fine. And then halfway through the dinner, he's like, hey, can I have some of that? We're like, no, you can't. You're not doing family style, bitch. Like, like fruit is that person. Yeah, he did at a dinner. I got so mad. He's like, I just wanted my own portion. And I was like, you can still have your own portion. I'm not a girl. Is it just me or does chivalry feel misogynistic? Um, I think it depends on your intention, right? I think, yeah, I think it depends on your intentions, right? Mm, Matthew's who I was talking about. Like he will like open doors, he'll like get everything and very considerate, but it freaked Lauren out. you know. She's like, I can open my own door. It's like, sorry. Oxy, aren't you technically the closest thing to a knight in chat? Yeah, he is, but like that's like an example. It's funny because we brought him to eat hot pot and he's like, I don't really like hot pot. I'm like, what? Why don't you like hot pot? He's like, well, I just don't really like understand it right. And then Lauren thought about it. She's like, oh yeah, last time we had hot pot, I didn't teach him how to make any of the sauces. She's like, I just kind of like threw them into it. And of course, like hot pot, you gotta have the sauces, right? Um, and he was just like, yeah, I was just kind of confused about it. And so we brought him to hot pot and then basically showed him like, how to make it and whatnot, like what goes good. Yeah, I put a shit ton of garlic, chili oil, sesame seeds, some sesame oil, and sugar. Some green onions. Yeah, or you could use like no, Lauren didn't make him a sauce. She didn't. So all he used was sweet sauce or soy sauce. So he was like, this is really salty, right? Like she told me, she's like, I didn't make anything for him. She's like, that's probably my fault for not like, no, she did it. She didn't make one for him or Bobby. Just threw them into it. But then whenever we went to the next hot pot place, we made sauces for them. If you're here, never order pho broth at a Chinese hot pot. we had, we had to share a hot pot. We had to share a pot with someone and they ordered pho broth and Vin just got mad. Like Vin was not polite about it. He was not nice about it. And the person's like, I don't give a fuck. But then later on was Vin was like, this white guy, whatever. Yeah, he was like, okay, you're whites, whatever. Oh my god. He was being so mean. Oh, Hammer, thank you for the raid. What were you streaming? I actually didn't see what you were streaming today. Normally, I actually look at all your notifications, but today I didn't see. Sekiro. Oh, nice. I hope you had a good stream. We're building the tofu. We're talking about sauces at hot pot places. Mushroom broth? I like getting the spicy mala broth. The spicy with Bone broth. Spicy pork bone broth. Lots of spices. I like the spicy broth, so. And each place has different broths, so it's kind of hard. It's better than pho broth or hot pot. Oh, they like the chili sauce, Joe? That's good. It's very tasty. Sentenced to be hero yet? No, but my mom told me to watch This Dragon Just Wants to Buy a House or something like that. Have you sentenced to be a hero? Okay, I'll have to watch it. Are all the new seasons starting now? Me to yoink a jar? For who? Your friend? I don't know your friend. If it's for you, I'll give it to you. Your friend? I don't know them. This is precious, okay? I'm just kidding. Yeah, let me know. I got one episode in Chainsaw. I see. I hope you like it. You just don't have high expectations for the character. I have a friend who thought that almond milk was an acceptable replacement for soy milk in ramen broth. Oh, dang. Oh, speaking of mom. Oh my god, I just talked about her. What'd she say? Would you please print a phone case? Oh, yeah. Hold on. They want me to go 3D print a phone case. Sorry. My my mom was like, I need you to print a 3D case for your dad. And they were asking me questions. What kind of nipples does a bean have to milk? I'm not gonna read chat. I'm skipping everything to well, he just needs it for a day while he waits for his to ship through. Yeah. He just wants like some kind of cover on it for now. Slipcast case? Yeah. I'm really crazed when pregnant women will want pickle plus pickle juice on ice cream. There is such thing as pickled ice cream. I think one of my craziest cravings was something similar to that. Not like I was pregnant, but like period cravings, you know. I think it was something along the lines of like I wanted shrimp chips, but then I also wanted ice cream with it, but it had to be like the sprinkle ice cream, so I would take the ice cream and a shrimp chip and like scoop it and then eat it. That was interesting. Have you seen the guy that makes wood flavored ice cream? That looks good. I would try it. All I saw is I'm trying to oogle muscle mommies. What is going on in that chat? If you look at it, you'd agree. Okay, I'll look at it later. So my dad was like judging my mom for getting a 3D printer, but then my mom was like, whatever. And so that's why I was downstairs for so long because my dad was like, what app do you use? What color's the filament? Where do you buy the filament? And then he's like, how do you use the program? And I showed him. He's like, so you can just print anything? I'm like, yeah. I was like, as long as you have the files and it's free. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, there's a reason why like 3D printers are so popular, right? Yeah, we're gonna do no foam first. I hope that's okay. Yeah, I mean, so I kind of felt that way about my Cricut. or like why I just never like bought it myself, or like why I was looking into buying it used, because I was like, well, realistically, like how often would I use it? But then I think if you're like just making for fun, yeah, it's something you probably wouldn't use too often. But if you have something um like to supplement it in the sense of, you know, like I'll use my Cricut for like ceramic stuff, right? Hello, fruit. You guys are so mean. Fruit's a lot better these days, okay? Lauren and I burned it into him, okay? Right, fruit? Don't worry. We're just prepping you for once you get a partner, okay? We're just when you when you like find your significant other, they're gonna be like, wow, he's so kind and considerate, right? They're never gonna think, wow, this piece of shit, right? It's because we've taught him. Yeah. Yeah, your next significant other is gonna be like, wow, you're so considerate, so nice. Telling girls I like the gay hockey shows and helping? Why is it not helping? Why did I do a voice of a 70-year-old woman? Did I? And see, I think it's because they assume he is gay by watching the gay show. Don't worry, fruit. I like you enough. If you're being a piece of shit, I would tell you. I know. But that's because I care about you. If I didn't care, I would just let you make a fool of yourself and call it a day. Just saying. Tough love. I appreciate you. No, you don't. He appreciates food. That's not true. I had extra pork curry katsu that I made, which was really good. I was like, do you want some? And he was like, no, I just ate. I'm like, okay, fine then. All right. I thought of you, and you said no. Got it. Food is a love language, yeah. Wait, Kim, have you been reading Tears of a Withered Flower? Are you caught up? Oh my god. The latest episode? She better be okay. Yeah, it really blew up on webtoons, and I don't know how they censor all that. Oh, Scooty, thank you for the resub. Hello. Enjoy your Christmas emotes for now. I haven't changed them. Chat's begging me to change them, but we're keeping them for at least all of January, and then I'll change them. With the exception of When Harry Met Sally, the only romances I like are when they don't end up together. That's so... It's not avant-garde, but that's very... That matches with, like, the movies you like to watch, I suppose. I like sappy stuff. But I like sappy stuff, but I also really like fucked up stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe when I watch fucked up movies, I like feel something. I'm like, oh my god, right? But I actually don't like watching romance movies too much, but I think it's just because I'm like a bitter bitch. But I do really like messed up films. Like to the point where it's like I probably should not be watching something like this. Oh my god. But then again, I read a lot of romance webtoons, and those are like so trashy, but I enjoy them. Do you know how many people I've watched get isekai'd into the villainous in an alternative world? Where the guy they're supposed to marry ends up killing them? There's so many of them like that. I do. Someone's like, wow, do you really like the storytelling of Korean like webtoons like that much more? And like literally because there's color, okay? It's not that I have a preference for the writing, I just like that there's color, okay? It's just not quite the same. The writing is not much like different in my opinion. There's like different tropes here and there. You know, only like, yeah, I mean, I'm a very visual person, so if it's like when I read stuff like them having sex, I'm just like, it's just a lot of brain power to like imagine it. But then if I see it, it's like, oh, it's kind of like when you have to imagine like, oh, he has like a 9 incher, and you're just like, in your head, you have to kind of like think about it. But if it's like a visual thing, then you're like, oh, I see, you know? That's why like I like I'm a visual person, okay? You really want to visualize that? I have, because someone's already done it for me. Someone has literally made a TikTok where they're like 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, 6 inch, 7 inch. And it's like, okay, I get it. I get it now. I can visualize it now. I see. Yeah, someone's already done it, so you know. Japanese manga doesn't have too much cultivations like webtoons. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things too that the Japanese are okay with, in the sense of like tropes where, you know, they like a lot of forbidden stuff, and they're a lot more open about it, okay? Meanwhile, like Koreans don't even draw nipples because it's too overtly sexual. You know they're like having sex, but for some reason they draw the line at nipples. Like, I don't get it, okay? Like, it's stuff like that, right? Like, there's still a very private place in that regard. But yeah, that's why. But then like the Japanese, on the other hand, it's like they have like no issue, you know, going into like forbidden territory, right? And that's kind of the reason why sometimes I have like an issue with like the Japanese stuff. It's because it's a lot of it is just not very. First crazy stream. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you here for keyboards, or did you find me randomly? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll stop talking about it. My bad. If you're here for keyboards, I'm sorry. We're just talking about the difference between like Japanese and Korean storytelling. Well, it's sponsored, and like they sent me this unit and they're paying me to like showcase it. But I mean, but we're adults. We're adults. You know, I'm just talking to my stream. I'm just chatting with you guys. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, KBD. I will I will tone it down. I just got really into I feel very passionate about these things, okay? We're all adults here, right? Marty Supreme. Are we gonna watch Marty Supreme? We have to, right? If you're here for keyboards, I'm building the Tofu60 3.0. KBD did send this out to me. Thank you, KBD. I really appreciate it. We're just talking about keyboards and other topics that come up, so sorry. I've been meaning to wear tears on a withered flower too. Okay. And so let's do the silicone palettes first. I mean, I imagine sometimes when I talk about this stuff, it does make some people uncomfortable, especially like, I mean, I will admit, it did for me for a while because, oh, you know, it's like something, not like more private, but I've come to realize that, you know, it's just like a very natural thing to talk about in the sense of like, you know, it only gets weird if someone makes it weird, you know? I have a face cam. I've always had face cam, I'm just lazy. As in like I don't want to put on a bra or like wear makeup and stuff. So I get it. I get sometimes talking about these things can make people uncomfortable, but I used to be the same way. I think it's like once I've gotten older and it kind of like embraced like adulthood more that I do feel more comfortable because as long as someone doesn't make it weird, you know. Yeah, it's like the exact same. Or it's very similar, if not the exact same as a TKO one. But I finally have found like a safe space where I can talk about these things and not worry about people making it weird, you know. And they have these. Oh yeah, Lamp did post a selfie today, not on close friends. Building up that confidence. Yeah, it's a bit different. I'm not comfortable. You like joking about these things. Yeah, that's the thing. I have trust issues. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Who hurt you? You don't have to talk about it. But I'm sorry. Whoever hurt you, fuck them. Okay. You're right. Okay. Oh, really nice. Today I saw a Herman Miller standing desk for $700. 72 by 36. It was long. Great deal. But do I need a desk? No. Yeah. If anyone's in Austin or you want to make the trek to Austin. Lamp, I told my aunt to buy the printer through your link, but then when she went to it, it was sold out. I'm sorry we weren't able to get commission for you. My camera's freaking out. Doesn't like something. Oh, okay, you don't get commission. Okay. Oh, really? With your company or just in general? Oh, so you're saying my mom got like one of the last ones? Hmm, I see. Yeah, I printed these. I need to learn 3D modeling so I can, instead of using people's prints, I can start to print my own. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, if anyone in Austin wants the place where I saw those desks, you can let me know. I wouldn't be surprised. I saw a pottery wheel on Marketplace for $1,500. Normally it's like 27, so I was like, damn, dang. Okay, what keycaps? I think Malt was saying to use Year of the Snake, which I have on a board, but I can take it off. Let's see. Let me grab it real quick. Oh. Where did I put it? Oh wow. 700. I think it's close. I think it's like a little off. This screen looks like it has like a bit more blue in it. Taiga? Let me see. I think Taiga or Fox would match. Let's see. Ooh, wait. Taiga's a little darker. There's also Fox. I think could also match well. Oh, Fox is on a different board. Well, let's use Taiga. It's Fox is on a different board. You mean Biage? BEJ? Nice. From Boston. Let me put this back real quick. Oh. Ooh. I think those are more blue. It could match. But I think those are a bit more blue. What's the female equivalent of unk? Are we just unks? Hag. Okay. That is... what the hell? Oh no, it's these. Holy shit. Okay. Great. Why did I get this base? Why did I think it would be cool? Oh, there was no Latin? Okay. Chat, do we trust a straight man? I think it depends on the man in question. Isn't the copium PP stroker blood clot? Oh my god, which one is Tildy? Chat, could you, can you guys please pull up the thing for me? I'm lost and I need help. Patty, can you yell this real quick? Okay. That's right, thank you. Oh, why is this so small? Oh my god. Okay, I had to enhance. Oh wait, you have a bigger one? That was at 250 for me. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. You know, I think I'm very fortunate. I could be like, whose link? Whose link do you think? Objectives was first. Did you ever buy that Miffy Jade thing? I found another place that has it. Apparently they have good reviews too. Oh, you bought it. Yeah, Miffy. Yeah, Miffy Jade. I mean, Oxy, it wasn't like I was like purposely not picking yours. It's just literally objectives was first, okay? It's not like I saw your link was like, fuck you, didn't pick it, okay? I mean, maybe sometimes I do that, but in this case, I definitely did not. And if I did, I would tell you. Okay, that's not what I said, Joe. Okay, Joe, who hurt you for you to respond like that? What the heck? I feel like saying, you know, who hurt you is like a really subtle but rude way to be like insulting someone, you know? Kinko's barking at my dad. I ate a fruit bar. Tyga was picked up by Novel Keys, right? Or was that a different set? I don't have the small alt or small controls, so we're gonna use these. Okay. Yeah, we all just get along. Do we not? Oxy, maybe if you didn't burn me so many times with Carl, I wouldn't be so spiteful. Was it worth it? I'm gonna get hit with a yes smiley face. I know, so... Oh, what do you think? I put a little leak. Cute, right? I've not, but I was saying that Year of the Horse must be so hard for some of the girlies, because it's like, how do you draw cute horses? I guess it is possible. Let's see this. Hmm. How is the weight? How did they do that? Hey, nice cootie. Oh. Wait, they have two different... Oh, I was looking at the desk mat. Sorry, I was looking at the desk mat. It was like, how are they doing all those colors? I was looking at this. I was like, how are they gonna do that? But no, the weight looks like this. Yeah, it's right here. This is more, I can see this, yeah. This one, I was like, whoa. They could, but that's just like a pain in the butt, right? Nice. Can I show you guys something I want to do? Well, I'll do sound tests first. And while we're swapping, I'll show you guys, okay? For those who are like waiting on the sound test, I'm sorry. I'm gonna show you guys a cricket idea I have that I want to do. I'm super excited about it. Super excited. And if it works out really well, then now you see me. What is that? Oh God. Oh, it's foul. Bile. Okay. I like that more places are using bile. I'm actually a big fan of bile. Oh really? I just use the program. So we're using Roller V2. Ooh, this is nice. You guys, I'm getting my nails removed on the 6th, so 2 more days. I was gonna have to wait until the 15th because I didn't schedule it until way later, but she had a last minute cancellation, so I'm gonna get my nails short again. Okay, anyways, let me mute real quick. Alright guys, so this is the Tofu60, the 3.0. We're using PC plate. This first mounting is the silicon gasket, or sorry, silicon pellets. And we're using the Roller V2 switches. And this is GMK Taiga. So it's not pingy, it's my nails. That's why I'm trying to get my nails removed. So with the nails, you hear this extra high pitch, right? So I think my nails just made it a little worse. If you're talking about like the high pitch sound. If you're talking about something else, then maybe, but yeah. I like my long nails, but yeah. Yeah. But unfortunately it's like I'm not used to typing with nails, so I went from like 100, like 15 to 100, right? And then you hear like extra sounds with it. And I personally think like it's distracting, especially if I'm trying to like listen for um when I'm listening to sound tests. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, so now let's do top mount. So I don't know if what you're hearing is a case, but or my nails. It's hard to say. And another thing is that so I am a piano player by heart, and I'm so used to playing like this, right? And I'm also used to typing like this. But now I'm having to adapt to try and type like this, right? So my fingers have changed, right? No, I haven't touched a piano in years. Is the raw clear coated? Let's see. Transparent anode. Has similar tendencies for the same reason. Yeah. Also, someone was saying like if you do this and you notice like your pinky kind of like sticks out like that, it's because of when you hold your phone. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I never thought about that. But then someone else was like, well, it's also if you are a piano player because you have to do the octave, right? Because it's just something you have to train your hands to do. So I think that's mostly how I have it. Because usually when I hold my phone, I hold it with my like ring. I don't like do this very often like this. But they're saying that a lot of people get that because of how they hold their phones. And that's why, like, growing up, I always had short nails because I was just so used to clipping them for piano. Oh, we're about to get Google Fiber here in my neighborhood. Good night, Adept. Sleep well. I mean, you can always teach yourself piano if you wanted to. I'm gonna do top mount. Upgrade, yeah. Oh, damn. So they come with silicone pellets, right? So I'm assuming. Okay. Should I? I would. I hope I didn't like freak Claudia out when I first met her. Sometimes I feel like I give bad first impressions, So, but from what I remember, oh wait, okay, I'll do this. I know Lydia called her that one streamer. I forget. And isn't she like your friend too? Are you gonna swap? Oh, Alicia, yeah. Is it the nails? God, freaking jump scare. Like, why is a minion messaging me right now? What the hell? These are nails that she did? Oh, my nails, okay. Ooh. Wait, did you actually get her a Jade Miffy? I found the place that does it. Can we show you real quick? I really like some of their stuff. Look. They have a lot of stuff here. But yeah, they have this Miffy and they have this Miffy. Yeah, you guys want, so they have their new drop, right? But they also have like a vault. But if you want to look at like the limited drops, here, I link it for you guys. There you go. Yeah, they have this silver. I got, oh shit, I closed my chat. Oh god, chat, where'd you guys go? Okay, anyways. But yeah, see they have a lot. La boo boo. Yeah, the Miffy one's really cute, right? I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go to Taiwan and buy Jade. She's like, do not buy Jade in Taiwan. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you will get ripped off. I was like, oh. She's like, unless you have me, or she's basically saying like, unless I have like a native person, she's just like, you're gonna get ripped off. I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Well, because Jade's one of those things where like typically other people gift it to you, and also it's seen as like protection, right? And like I have a jade bracelet my mom gave me, but sometimes it can be really restricting. Yeah, it can. Like, she like pulled out a UV light and everything, and she's like, you gotta listen for a sound, you gotta see if they injected anything. She's just like, do not buy jade when you're there. Like, you want jade, you ask Popo. Like, okay. Okay. She was very adamant about that. Yeah. But you wanna know something crazy? Do you remember when we had that person run into our tree? And basically, like, my mom was like protected? Do you remember that? Apparently, the day before, my mom had a jade piece that broke. And I was like, that's freaky. Because jade is meant to, like, protect you, right? And so, yeah, the charm took the hit. Yeah, she told me about this later. So it's kind of crazy. Like, yeah, crazy to think about. Handmaiden. Was that the... I remember that one, yes. By the way, I did not like the movie Carol. I felt so bad for the other girl. Oh man. I'm missing. I think it fell off somewhere. Hold on. Oh, I found it. Which one? That one's based off of Sarah Waters' Fingersmith. Which one? What movie? Oh no, you're good. Yeah, basically what Oxy said. I mean, that must be devastating though. Imagine you train your whole life and then you get injured. Like, that sucks. Am I off tomorrow? Sunday? Yeah. I managed to get the kiln lady to delay the firing so I could get some more pieces in for a market. She says she'll hold off. So if I throw tonight and trim tomorrow, and then I should make it for the bisque firing on Monday, and then she's gonna do the glaze firing on Wednesday. And then I'll have all the pieces ready for Saturday. So I'm actually gonna go to the studio later. I was indifferent, yes. I liked Call Me By Your Name. I did like that one. But I think part of the reason I like these movies so much is because I love the soundtracks. No, it's not the peach. Oh, yeah. He got nominated for, the cannibal movie, right? Bones and all? Did he? Didn't Dune get Oscars? Or is that something else? Suspra? Was that the one I hated? Was that the one where it's like, it was like it reminded me of Berserk? Pissed me off. Yes, okay, yeah, it was. Night lamp. Ooh. Oh my god. It's he so. Is he trying to be nice? Like, oh my gosh. What, Supra? I know. Lamp claims to be Chinese. Shake my head. Hold on. Baby Inu. What is it? What is it, Baby Inu? You got something to say? Okay. This one with the little silicone pods is a little harder to install. It's just more like annoying than anything, but once you get it all in, just make sure you have things ready to go. I'm craving an egg roll. Sorry. I'm thinking about the ones you got whatchamacallit? The one Viet place we went to. It's like a it's like a very unique name. They have like all those really long egg rolls. We went Insty. Yes, that place. Yeah. Yeah, I like that place. Okay, so this next one is going to be top mount. You know what? Maybe if I try typing a bit slower, it'll be okay. Let me try typing slower. Alright guys, this is the top mount with a no foam. Okay. Did you see what I was doing? Ginkgo was just like walking all along here, and then she like walked under my chair, but her butt caught my chair, so it was like turning me. Ginkgo. Oh, you got a Miffy? What color Miffy did you get? Did you get the gold or silver? I like some people will say like, oh, I'm a gold girly. Oh, I'm a silver girly. I actually don't know what I would be. Are you silver? I used to wear a lot of silver, but then there's one point where I was like, I want to wear gold. Okay, now we're gonna do it with foam. And we're dirt. I know, Avo. It's okay. I wear clay. Thanks for the follow. Avo is a conservationist, okay? He's trying to save as much water as he can. To save the earth. And not because it's expensive. You know what? Incy and I were talking about Michigan people. I kind of made a mean joke, but I was like, must be the water. I felt bad after. Oh my god. You guys are twinsies. Couple. Do you really want to change the emotes back to normal? If Couple says we can, if Couple says he wants to, then we can. I'm not talking about the 7TV one, I'm talking about Twitch ones. Unless that's what you were talking about too. That's crazy that the lead moderators can't change the emotes. He's talking about my chat, right? Did you guys know that I got my chat commissioned by someone and the code was so spaghetti that Oxy redid it? I don't know if it was spaghetti, but it was like, there's just things I wish it would do, and Oxy's like, I can fix that. I'm like, okay, cool, neat. Maybe Oxy should get mod for that reason, but then I remember how toxic he is, so... Okay. So in terms of what I think about this board so far, I really like this switch and plate combination. I think it feels very pleasant. I also really like the ano. I think the force break is a little, it's a very minimalist, but it's very minimal. I'm sure it does make a difference, but when they talked about force break, I guess I was expecting a little bit more. But How does Avo know your name? Oh my god, don't joke about that, Oxy. I hope I never have a stalker. Also, I meant to print a phone case, but I'm pretty sure I printed a... I'm pretty sure I just printed the model of the phone case. Do I know anything about Jace? No. What is that? Well, I just did it so fast. I just like picked the first thing. Let's see. What is Jace? I googled it. It says Japan Association for Comparative Economic Studies. Oh, Jane's? Yes, what about it? Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. The actually print a case for my dad. Oh, the ceramic? Oh, yeah, yeah. Um, uh, I want to try doing this. Oh, there. There's not much info. Oh. Yeah, I mean, couple would probably know. You're just mostly wanting to know like how many will be made and whatnot. Sometimes they'll say, but I guess it depends. Wait, thingy? You know that person? And see, do you know who Bridget Bandit is? Does anyone know who Bridget Bandit is? She's a drag queen activist. Very big. She's an activist in Texas. Yeah, I grew up with her. My friend William posted a video of her doing her drag show, and I was like, oh my god, I know that person. Yeah, she's like a big activist now. Oh, really? Okay, then it's the enhanced one. Basically what it does is it uploads to Twitch like a bunch of different things to kind of get like the highest quality. And I turned that off and I did dynamic bit range, so basically it will adjust it based on what I'm using or whatever I'm getting throttled by. So I did that. The enhanced thing used to never lag me like that. But it's basically the settings so that I guess if I really wanted to stream in 4K, I guess. I don't know, it was weird. I'm glad I fixed it. Glad to hear. Yeah. I grew up with her and we were friends. We did kind of have like a falling through because some lore is, you know, my ex-boyfriend, the one I dated in high school, she dated his twin brother. But we also competed a lot because we both played piccolo and we would have tryouts. And I felt bad because like we had 3 piccolo players in our marching band and there was 4 of us and she got cut. I felt bad. But I don't know if she ever like harbored any like animosity towards me. Piccolo like the mini flute because of that, you know. But I'm like glad to see that, you know, she's doing so well. Whoa. Thank you, Couple, for doing your mod jobs. You're being helpful. I'm glad you like being here. Sometimes people disappear from my chats, and when I don't see them for a long time, I do notice. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that whenever someone come in and I'll be like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in so long." It makes me wonder, you know. I just lurk. Yeah, I mean, some people are like lurkers. Me too. I'm a huge lurker. But there are a lot of like streams I used to watch that I don't watch. I leave some my talents are appreciated. I did stop watching one person because they just got like really like self-deprecating. Like it was genuinely very hard to watch. Like they had the people around them who wanted to give them the support, but it's like they didn't want their support. They wanted like different supports. So it's like it's hard, right? It's kind of like love language, right? But they had the support. It just wasn't the support that they were looking for. And so both parties felt underappreciated. Well, it was like, you know, they would stream, they're like, "Oh, you know, we love your streams," and this person would be like, "Well, I'm a dying streamer and I only get like so and so views, so don't watch." And it was like, oh, it became really hard for me to watch them because like the people that were still there, you know, were there for them. But maybe, yeah, they just wanted the big numbers to really like validate themselves as a streamer, which is fair. Like, I understand that, right? Like, there are times where I'm like, man, I must be a shitty streamer because I can't even like break 100. But then I have to remember, like, you know, a lot of people don't even break past 10, so I guess it's like mindset and mentality. I'm not a big talker. Yeah, I was actually reading a thread on Twitter because someone was like they just started streaming, but they like started hitting big numbers, and they're like, it's because I turn off chat and I speak like I'm an entertainer and not like a streamer in the sense of like they're saying they're not like a reactive person, not a reactive streamer. And they say like the reason why it works for me is because I focus very heavily on just like being an entertainer, which kind of made sense, right? To me, because um they were saying like they don't build the personal connections that you would see in some streams. Like they do, but you know, they're like, I would never talk to someone directly because it makes other people who join in feel like it's a big clique and it would make them leave. Whereas like if I'm just, you know, talking generally and just making like just assuming that I'm talking to many people instead of just one, you know. And it was kind of interesting to read that like perspective. I mean, different things work for different people, but it worked for her. She's like, I'm an entertainer, you know. I treat my stream as if I'm the like the entertainer. This is an interesting take, right? Well, it's more like it's her way of like bringing people or including everyone. Yeah. So this person's already streaming like they just assume they'll never get to read chat except for like occasionally. And some people like that because then it's like then they because I think I'm guilty of it too, where sometimes it feels like, you know, we have a lot of inside jokes and newer people might not be able to relate. I mean, you still get to see like live reaction but whatnot. I don't know. I think there's definitely different ways to go about it. And it worked for her, so. Oh man, I'm doing this on the wrong one. Oops. Are you trying to buy this board? Yeah, like I said, it just depends on like, you know, you would probably like a smaller streamer stream more if you're like really trying to like talk to someone. Whereas like if you're just shit posting, right? Like time and space. Yeah. I feel like Kiwi would be really good. Kiwi King would be really good at the whole, you know, being just like an entertainer. I do think like for me personally, I do rely very heavily on chat to talk, but I think that's just my nature in general. It's like out in the wild, I'm not really talking that much. Whereas like some people like thrive, you know, you put them in a room of strangers, they will thrive, right? God, what the hell? You can be someone that just like talks to strangers. Some people are born stars. Like, for example, right? Like Ryan, his streams were very like fun because you know you wanted to talk to him. He wanted to talk to people. You know, he's Ryan. I know, loves low sax, but he just did a really good job. He like and like people gravitated towards that. You know, people wanted to tell him. Hello, pancake. Thank good. I'm just building this. I started a little late, and plus I my parents just got a 3D printer, so we've been printing a lot of stuff, but it's like the good old they need help figuring things out. But you know what? This is my first time having a 3D printer too, so I don't know what I'm doing either. I literally picked the files and just press print, but, you know, once I figure it out, then I can teach them. Hello, Ness. Hold on. It's very fun. I dropped the screw. Oh. I found it. Oh my god. What a small world. And see. Well, I don't know how to 3D model yet. I want to learn how to. But I'm mostly making the cutters for like ceramics. Hi Ness, how are you doing? I was just talking about how the mentality some streamers have when it comes to setting up their stream. Like, do they want to be more personal? Do they want to like be a reactive streamer? In the sense of like chat says something, they respond to it, you know, that back and forth. Or if it's like they just an entertainer, they ignore chat completely, they just say what they want to say. They just pretend that, you know, they're just entertaining. Yeah, exactly. You used to throw clay, really? I love it. I've been having a lot of fun. And I was giving the example of like Ryan, so Lil Stacks. Oh, Raku. That's something I haven't delved in. I mean, I do think that's like what you start out as. You really like build that foundation, and from there, you know, chat starts moving so fast that you can't really do that, and you kind of have to like shift. So some people will stream like they can't read chat, right? And they're able to do that. Because it's kind of like the scenario where like if you took this person and threw them into a room of strangers, would they be able to entertain those people or get to know them or like feel comfortable talking? Whereas like, you know, like my stream, I have a lot of, you know, regulars, and I've built connections with those regulars, right? So I'm able to just like bring up old stuff. But that can feel kind of isolating for some people, especially like the ones that are like new, because they're like, oh, I don't get this reference. So, oh, I actually broke something, and I'm saving it. I'm gonna take a class. We all learn to fit in one way or another. Yeah, it's just a matter of like, some people are entertainers, some are much more personal. Yeah. And it's kind of like, a lot of people will be like, why aren't I growing? And some people say it's like, oh, it's because of the type of streamer you are. For example, like, I do have a hard time bringing new people in. That's just how it is. But I feel like once I've like got my hook, then they stay, right? If I'm able to do that. But a lot of times it's just like getting that initial hook, you know? Are you are you trying to imply something? Rollers? What are rollers? Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm using the Rollers V2, sorry. I'm saying like once I'm able to get people to stay, then, I'd like to believe my retention rate is, hello Kim, is at least like somewhat okay. But it's just getting the new people in. But I can definitely see it being like isolating whenever I'm. Wait, did that build not? Oh, I never pressed submit. Sorry. There you go. I never pressed submit on the thing. Well, I started streaming in the daytime now. I do gaming streams in the daytime. But I like doing the keyboard streams at night because it's typically after I've eaten. I don't get hungry in the middle. I mean, I do, but it's kind of like I finish with everything and I can just sit down and like, hanker this out. Whereas like if I were to stream in the day, I feel like I lose a lot of time because I have to like go out and do stuff, or I like it's like I gotta have to end so I can get food. So that's mainly one of the reasons I enjoy streaming like at night. I know I do stream really late. Megabunk, I can't play it. I get sick. No. Boom. Oh, the O's not working. They're roller switches. Good night, Joe. Roller V2. These are really nice. I actually quite enjoy them. I think it's this one. Oh, it's not. Oh, it is this. Oh, it like input sometimes. I'm actually gonna try to go to the studio tonight, Capo. After this. I managed to convince her to delay the firing. Because, so, I do. And I bring my iPad and I'll watch shows. So for example, like Solo Leveling. I watched movie night there one time. Okay, yeah, there you go. Oh, you can't change it? Damn. Okay, that's fine. The streamers I think most have a pure strong relationship to chat and their work. Another streamer I watch is Junker19129. He does woodworking stream. Oh, I see. I don't know. Maybe I just think too much. Overthinker. Sometimes I feel like I overthink. Okay, so this is with foam. No, I'm like zombie mode. This is the silicone pellet. Okay. Alright guys, so today we have the Tofu 3.0 PC plate. We're using Roller V2 switches. This is the silicone pellet, and this is GMK Taiga. Choo 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 choo. Those kind of streamers irritating. They act like children. I mean, it's a large part of Twitch is are children, so it makes sense, right? Because I don't think I appeal to children, and I'm really not trying to, but it makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's like seeing how you treat Twitch, right? And there's like things that you might not like to do, but things that you might have to do. So for example, like some people will play, you know, like the AAA games, not because they like them, but because it's so hype, so they have to play it, you know? Stuff like that. It definitely helps when those streams are like sponsored. Because you could hate the game, but, you know, it's all good because at least I'm getting paid type of deal, right? But it takes a lot to kind of get to that point. One day. One day I'll get there. Like, I might hate the game I'm playing, but at least I'm getting paid, you know? Our creator stream. I don't know about that one. Hi, Diego. Lamp told me that he's visiting you. He says he got train tickets for $100 to go visit Unc, aka you. But then Insty says you're not Unc, you're Opar. So do what you want with that information. We started watching Interview with the Vampire. Only the first episode, though. Happy New Year's to you, too. My sister's in New York right now. You love that series? Really? We only watched the first episode, but I'm excited to watch the rest once we get around to it. Frank was like, I'll watch it with you guys, and then never joined. Freaking Frank. We waited so long for him. There's 2 seasons, right? Hope you and the kiddos are doing good. Yeah, we are. I'm babysitting a cat right now, my sister's cat. Should I try and grab him and show you guys? He's super cute. Yeah, I mean, it was impromptu. Would like to see the baby. Okay, I freaked up. Okay. I think when you're using the PC plate, these don't fit in very well, but I'm assuming like with like the aluminum plate, it will probably fit a bit better, but Season 2 is lit. Okay. I watched the movie a long time ago, so I kind of know the gist of it. I don't, is it like drastically different from the movies? Yeah, I think these just don't fit very well so far. And they shift, right? Like, see, this one already shifted out. And it's kind of like once one shifts out, you have to... Bleh. Like, I would hope that, you know, I could just easily remove it, but it's kind of like... I just remember hating, yeah, see, this one fell out. Uh, was it Kirsten Dunst? Kristen Dunst? She was in that, right? I just remember hating her. Okay, that's good. No, she was the little actress. She was the little girl, if I remember correctly. She was, right? Okay, good. I was like, wait, am I thinking of someone else? Yeah, no, it's more like I kind of know the story, but I don't know if it's like different, right? Okay, it's great. Okay. Okay, we'll have to watch it. Oh God. For some reason, the only movie that when I think Kirsten Dunst, I think of is Spider-Man. Like, that's just the first movie that comes to my mind. Which is a tragedy because I'm sure she's been in much better movies. But it's just the one that I've engraved her as in my head. Out of all the Spider-Mans, though, what Spider-Man do you guys like? There's Tobey Maguire, there's what? Andrew Garfield, there's the guys, Tom Holland, uh, honestly, Toby is my Spider-Man just because, yeah, because that's what I grew up with, you know? Wait, she was in Eternals? Oh, really? I do not remember her character at all. You know what movie made me really sad? Was 500 Days of Summer, and also there's another one Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in. The one where he gets diagnosed with cancer. Is it called 50/50? Andrew Garfield is perhaps the best Spider-Man. Tom is the best Peter, but Toby's the first love you can't forget. Yeah, right. That movie has not aged well. Which one? 500 Days of Summer? I haven't watched it. in a while, so I don't remember. Yeah, there was one he starred in about someone who had cancer, which really kind of hit close to home for me because I knew someone who was diagnosed with cancer as well, right? I was very mad in love around the time. What? 500 Days of Summer? Oof. Oh, I think my high school relationship was kind of sad because I'm just gonna straight up say it, and like I've said it before, but he was basically a rebound that I like fell in love with. Um, and I think he always had this expectation of us getting married, but I never quite felt the same way. And I mean, it must be hard. It must be hard, like dating someone who you think you're gonna marry, but then that person is just not feeling the same about it at all. Yeah, I should have dated him in like hindsight, or could have dated him, but I shouldn't have let it get to the point that it did. I guess like that was like a end, like after high school graduating end kind of relationship, but well, I never really thought that. Like yeah, I loved him at some point, but it's kind of like like an enduring kind of love, if that makes sense. It's like he loved me a lot more than I loved him, right? But I was so heartbroken over the previous guy that but I was too dumb to like know like, oh, that's toxic, you know? What you did was really toxic. Like he ended up being a rebound that I like ended up loving. But honestly, that should have been a relationship that ended as soon as we graduated, right? Okay. I mean, he just wasn't very good to me. And he was a mama's boy. And yeah, he was definitely not like he was a nice person, but he wasn't like he's basically looking for someone to like take care of him and coddle him. But, you know, I wanted to be taken care of. I don't want to take care of someone. I want someone to take care of me, you know? Especially being the eldest daughter, right? Versus like a spoiled firstborn son from different backgrounds. You know, it just wasn't the same. You know, I pretty much worked with I worked for everything. I had to work for everything that I wanted, whereas everything was kind of like given to him in that regard. So it was kind of like, boy, you've been spoiled your whole life. Like spoil me. I'm I'm firstborn daughter in, you know, an Asian household. Like I don't want to be taking care of you. Right. So, I mean, there was definitely dynamics there that I just, right. uh, bu- 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 I think that some cis test men want a mom they can sleep with. Your partner realize that. Unless that's what you want. Oof. Yeah. That's kind of how I felt. Like once I realized. So, so for example, right? So kind of like the difference between like him and Connor at the time, was so I worked at a restaurant job and I paid for all our meals because like his parents would give him allowance, right? But he would save it so that he could, buy the stuff that he wanted. And so when we went out and ate, like I was the one paying for it, okay? Like I was the one working because he wanted to wait until he could get like a job, right? And so I paid for all the food. I would buy him gifts and I'd be like, and he would say like, sorry, I can't get you anything. I'm like, it's okay. Like I'll just, like once you have a job. And then whenever he got his job, okay, his first job, he was an intern at Intel and he bought himself a computer. Didn't have enough money to buy me a gift and basically was like, well, we can both use it. We can both use the computer, except you have to be quiet when you're using it because I'm a light sleeper. It's just like he didn't even like think about me. He didn't even think about like stuff like that. Like his first thought was instead of, buying me something nice, taking me out like a nice dinner, um he bought himself something nice and then ran out of money. Was like, I'll get you next paycheck. And so that felt bad, And like I also paid for like our ACL tickets, so our music festival tickets. And then I remember one day he was like pretty stressed out at work and he kind of snapped at me and I was like I snapped back, right? Because I was just like, why are you being so mean, And he's like, you wouldn't understand, you don't have a real job. And I was like, bro, what? I was like, I work pretty much like full time at my bubble tea store job, trying to like pay for our meals, our music festivals, your gifts, right? And it is like, and you're saying like I don't have a real job just because you make more than me? Like that, I think that was like really the moment where I was like, this guy, like, you know. About my friend's high school ex favorite artist main stage concert ticket got broken up the day I was gonna give it to. Oh my gosh. My dad bought himself a new TV for Mother's Day one year. Well, and the thing is, like, I tried to break up with him, and he was like, no, we can make it work. Anyways, sorry, I went off on a tangent. This is top mount. Alright guys, so this is top mount now, no foam. Well, I'll go into that. Hold on. After. Hey, you think this is your preferred config? Yeah. I mean, for adding foam into the board, does it doesn't really like sound like foamy. Does that make sense? Um, well, so here's the thing, is I've taken a lot of time to think about it over the years, especially after we broke up. And I think it just comes down to the same thing that we like give fruit so much shit about. It's just that these guys are so used to their moms doing everything in the sense of like they were never taught to return that favor, because the mom would do everything. So I think it was just something that plus he was a twin, so it was also one of those things where like he never really quite had anything for himself, right? It was always like shared. So I think once he finally had that freedom to like get something for himself, it's like why would he want to share, right? And then unless you're taught to be considerate or like taught, to reciprocate that kind of like action, it's something that um someone has to teach you, right? Like sure, it comes natural for some people, but if you really think about it, like especially us, like you don't get chopsticks for your mom. Your mom's like, "Hey, 你不拿筷子给我，我煮饭不拿给我." And it's like, okay, like my mom grilled that shit into me, basically. Okay. So basically what I just said was, if I didn't set the table and get my mom chopsticks, she'd be like, "Where's my chopsticks? What the fuck? I cooked for you. Give me chopsticks. That's the least you can do," right? So it's just one of those things where like I don't want to say I was conditioned, but I was taught to do those kind of things. And I think it's something that unless you're actively like in that situation, it's not really something people think about, right? Like if you're so used to like things being handed to you, when it's not all of the sudden, it's like what then, right? Oh, sorry. Women tend to be more socialized to be considered. Oh, yeah. Changing with the younger generations. Comes a lot from the relationships modeled by your parents. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and some people pick up on those cues a little better than others, right? Some people just like don't have the social cues to be like, oh, maybe I should have gotten water for everyone. Or, like some people just don't have that awareness. And for those who don't have the awareness, then you kind of have to like teach them. Sorry for anyone who had like PTSD. That's why there's this like saying where like a polite man is just a shitty woman, right? In the sense of that's not quite the saying, but just like what you think is a high tier man is just like a normal woman, right? Because it's like, oh, he's like considerate, he does all these things for me, he goes above and beyond, he's sweet, he thinks about me. And it's like, yeah, like the average woman does all that as a basis. Right? But that's like that was like a giant, yeah, like that's baseline women. Okay, but anyways, sorry, going off like on a tangent. Not to say that all men are like that. Like if you're listening to this and you're like, not me. Like it's just like it's like a generalization, okay? I just looked at my yeah, it's like you like Connor, have you seen those TikToks where it's like, you should ask your man this question, and if he doesn't answer this, I think you should start a fight? So he's been like so conditioned with the worm question. I was like, Connor, would you still love me if I was a squid? And he was like, yes, I would love you. I would get you the best tank and water, and I would stay up and find a way to turn you back. He's like, I would not sleep until I turn you back. He's like, but until then, I will make sure you're living in good conditions. Because the first time I asked him, would you still love me if I was a worm? He was like, yeah, I'll put you outside and you can go live out there. And I was like, what? How could you say that? He's like, well, worms like dirt. You're a worm. So I would put you in the dirt. And I was like, you wouldn't try and turn me back? Like, the fuck? So it's like, you know, it's things like that. Like sometimes sometimes they just need to be taught. Anyway, sorry for anyone who's watching with the keyboard. Okay, but yeah, so that was the build. Okay, KBD must be watching me like, oh my god, this girl yaps so much. Sorry, I'm having a really good time this stream. I don't know if you guys can tell. New year, new me. But anyways, so yeah, so today we built the Tofu60, the 3.0, so the third version, right? We have the HHKB. So if you're interested in this board, hello Pikachu. There are 11 colors. I have the anodized pine green. It will come in 3 layouts, so Winky, Winkyless, HHKB. And this will also be Hall effect or magnetic switch compatible. Right, so here's the top. So it is not a true HHKB. It does have the symmetrical HHKB blockers, but nonetheless, I think this looks really good. Oh, I love how I think Taiga is a very good call. Good job, chat. But yeah, here's the top. Here's the side. So the tofu is known to be just like a very minimalist, very, you know, simple case. So it's reflected in, you know, the side piece, right? Or the side profile. And then here's the back. So while there are 11 colors for the top piece you can pick, for the back weight, right, or the back piece, there are tons of options. So this one is the textured, right? So this looks really cool. This is going to be extra if you're interested in it. But here you can see the 4K screws. And then here is the USB port. So here you can see, you know, the bottom case, right? If you decide to get something that's like different. Unrelated, but HMR gives me the scariest. Oh yeah, we talked about that a lot, but I'll come back to that comment. Yeah, and then here is the front lip. So 9-degree typing angle, it does use adhesive feet. In terms of like mounting, you have 2 mounting styles for it. You have top mount, which uses these like little silicone bits, and then you also have silicone pellet on the PCB. So this board can also be plateless, assuming you don't do the top mount, but we didn't do a sound test for that. However, there are technically 2 mounting styles, right? So the silicone pellets on the PCB, and then the top mounting that also uses the pellets on for the top mount, right? And then if you guys are interested, I actually didn't look up the starting price. Let us actually look at the product page. Sorry, flashbang. But here's a page. So it's actually already live now, right? So looks like starting price might be the 161. So here you can see the 3 layouts. Here are the 11 colors. So if you wanted my configuration, so looks like no change in pricing based on the layout. If you wanted my configuration, so here you can see all the different bottom cases, right? So you can get it matching, but I did this one, anodized silver with texture. And then internally, it does have weight bars, which also functions as the covers for the battery. So I got this one. And then PCB, you have the 4 options. So be careful here. If you decide to get the Hall effect one, it only supports 1 layout. So just be aware of that. So I got this one. And then plate, there are 5 plate options. So I have the PC and the alu, but I just did PC. I do have the foam kit. It is an extra $10 if you decide to get it. And then it does come with this wrist rest that I didn't use. But if you guys have seen the Tofu TKL wrist rest, it's very similar. So I got this one and then extra. So after all this, my total is 228. But of course, a large part of this comes from the bottom case, right? If you get the fancy bottom, it's gonna cost more. And also I got the stainless steel inside, right? Like you don't have to choose a weight bar, but I did choose it. So if you want my specific configuration, for the case alone, it's gonna be 228. But in terms of like cheapest configuration you could get, let's see. Cheapest, like if you don't get plate, no need, know that. Oh, so starting at $115, right? So starting at $115. But yeah, this is just the product page if you guys wanted to read more about it. So here we're talking about the gasket mount, PCB gasket mount, or the top mount, and then it comes with these, you know, the plate mount silicone dampeners. The force break mod, I feel like on this was very minimal. The Teflon pads are actually very thin. I'm sure it does help, but I'm kind of curious to see what it would sound like without. But they are a lot smaller than I had expected. I felt like whenever they had put it on here, right, it would have been something like they had incorporated it into the case, but it was actually just like, oh no, we're giving you Teflon pads to put around the screw points, which is fine. Yes, yeah, so plateless is only possible if you have the mounting on the PCB, right? So if you decide to do plateless, it has to be the silicone pellets, yeah. Here, I think earlier someone said it sounded a little pingy. It's probably because they didn't come, like mine didn't have these foam blocks with for the battery cavity. And I found that that does affect it sometimes. So maybe that's why. But here you can see the weight bars, the plate, the wrist rest, the foam kits, the PCB options. So I'd say the biggest thing to remember is that if you want the HG magnetic PCB, you have to remember it's only Win-Key only. And what else? It does use Pogo Pin. Looks like depending on what you get, the firmware will be different. So if you get the dual hot swap, it'll be CMK, right? And then if you get the HG, it will be self-developed, right? So from KBD fans, I'm assuming. And then these are via Ryle, right? And then here's all the layouts if you wanted to see it. So if you get Win-Key, you do have your choice of like 6.257U. And then yeah, so here's just, you're a lot more limited. Real pictures. So this one was the raw. Okay. But in terms of my thoughts about the board, I think the little silicone pellets that go onto the plate for top mount was a little hard to work with. You have to be careful with it. And what I would recommend is I would put it all on the plate, right? Well, I would, you have to flip it over and put it all in, and then from there, put the case over it, right? So you just have to be careful. I think with the softer plates, it's not as tight, so it might shift out of place. But if you use like aluminum or like a harder plate, it will probably stay in place a little bit more. But I think in terms of like, what is it? In terms of building, I think that was like the only thing I kind of had like difficulty with, was just I wish the pellets had a bit tighter tolerance, especially with the softer plates. And I don't even know if it's something that you have to use because, like, traditional top mount, it doesn't use the silicone pellets. So I wonder if I even had to use it, but it was there. So basically, it sits on these, like, I thought these were like flex cuts or leaf spring cuts, but it just sits in here, right? Or it sits like right here, and then you would screw it in. And I'm guessing that's to make it so that the typing feedback isn't as harsh, which is another thing I wanted to talk about because whenever I put foam into this board, it didn't quite have that like signature foam sound that you would hear. Maybe it's like because of the switches I'm using, but it also because of like the silicone pellets that slide onto or that fit on here, the typing feedback was not as harsh, right? And that is something that I personally really like because I don't like a stiff typing feedback. So if you're in that same boat, I think putting the little silicons on this for top mount was actually very pleasant, right? Um, but that's mainly if you don't like that stiff or harsh feedback. However, I would say it probably does dampen because if some people like top mount because it's like loud, but um, I would assume just like thinking about it that maybe it did mute it a little bit, so it wasn't like as like that loud, top mount sound. But a lot of things could attribute to that, so it's hard to say. And I wonder like I think you don't even technically have to use it, right? Because traditional top mount doesn't use it. So I think that's something that you can swap in and out if you really wanted to. The fact that it has platelets is really nice. I think starting out, how much did we say it was? Like $112? Let me see. $115, which is not bad for like an aluminum case. I think historically tofus have known to be like dirt cheap, or I don't want to say dirt cheap, but cheap so that like anyone could buy it and start out with it. And um, I don't want to say it's cheap, but I think tofu is definitely, the basis for a lot of, what we see today. So 115 I think is like an acceptable like starting price, assuming you don't get anything, especially since they designed this to around it being HE compatible, albeit with like their own module and their own PCB. But I do think that's good for KBD to do that, right? To kind of venture more into the HE, especially since so many people buy Wooting and like convert like the older tofus into like the case. So I do think that's a step in a good direction. I don't know if I can recommend the HE PCBs because I've personally never used it. I'd say what really makes or breaks like an HE board is the program, and they're like developing their own program. So it could be good, could be bad. Really hard to say. Wooting is just like the much preferred, and I don't know if it is compatible with that. I know they have some cases that are compatible with like the Geon Venom, um, or the Geon HE PCBs. So like I don't know. I unfortunately don't have enough experience with that to tell you guys. Yeah, HE software is the make or break. So I don't know if I could recommend it. I'd say the board itself sounds very good. But you know, I didn't do anything too crazy. I really liked how it felt. If you're looking for like a softer typing feel, at least with my config, like at no point was I like, oh god, I'm getting tired. Um, I think my biggest critique so far is just like the little things that you slide on here for top mount, but I don't think you even need to do that, right? If you keep compatibility to Geon, yes, I think it'd be good too. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything on there talking about it. All I saw was wired HE PCB, and then when I scrolled down, it said like it's like their program that they're working on. However, I see that Geon is a Korean vendor for it, so I don't see why it wouldn't. That's probably something that, because on previous things they would say like, oh, it is, it is compatible, but it doesn't say on here, so it kind of makes me wonder if it really is or if it isn't. Um, the silicone top mount might be more necessary for Alu. It could. I will say the first break was a little underwhelming because it's like, oh, here you go. I thought it was like something they had incorporated into the case, but I mean, it makes sense for like the price, right? And I wonder if that's just something, yeah, like if you don't want that sound or you like the feel of Alu, but you don't want it to be a stiff, that's like an alternative. Like that's an in between, right? But I liked it. It's just a little harder to install, at least on the softer plate. But you said like Alex did it and it was like better on the stiffer plate, right? I wonder if that's something that they could. I mean, I guess it's not because it's already been released, but I do wish it was like a little tighter, like tighter tolerances, at least with the softer ones. But that's just me nitpicking. Um, Also, one thing I didn't talk about is a lot of people don't like wrist rest because it could scratch their case if you didn't know that. But the updated, I think, wrist rests are really nice because they've added these little silicone bits to make sure that that doesn't happen. And the wood is also going to be a lot, better, a lot softer against that. But check this out. So look, you can put these little silicone bits in. So now I can just, whoop, I don't have to worry about scratching. Of course it's wood, so you don't have to worry too much about it, but I'd say the wrist rest is very nice. It's very cooling. I wish it came in the color to match the case, but that's okay because you use silver with anything. But I do think that's something like that I wish. Like if I had this with the matching, top case wrist rest, that'd have been sick. But I'm okay with this one for now, right? Considering you could buy this for anything, and so it's not just like restrictive. But yeah, I think I actually really did enjoy this board. Um, yeah, I actually really liked it. I think the switches they gave me was really nice. It's my first time using Roller V2. And I mean, Tofu is just like a classic within our hobby. And I think NC said it earlier, but like they should have skipped the 2.0 and released this one. And yeah, I mean, it's nice seeing that they continue to really, polish this. I think I I wish they would have given me like the foam for the battery, and I hope they include that with your guys' unit if you do decide to buy it. But I think that's like my only critique is I hope they give you the battery covers, right? Um, but I like the green. Yeah, I picked this one. I am building the 65, but that will be next week. But this is already out in case you guys are interested in it. And if you guys are and you're kind of debating on whether to buy it, I do have an affiliate link, so it supports me. But hopefully we'll have a video out on this soon. Apple bottom jeans. But yeah, that's the build. Thank you, KBD, for sending it out to me. I actually did really enjoy it. This is something that I could see myself like reaching for, right? This feels like a more thought out product and launch. Yeah, I'm kind of iffy about like the internal weights, at least with this one, but I think despite not having the thing in the cavity, it does feel I thought this was very pleasant to type on. But that's like a personal thing, right? But yeah, this is something that I could see myself like oh, keep on my desk and use, right? And I do think that them continuing to develop their HE is the way for them to go. But yeah, uh, that's it. Thank you, KBD. Thank you, Bob, for sending this out to me. Thank you all for watching. Um, Thank you, YouTube. I'll see you later. Bye bye.